of the most important days of the year for us, because it gives our students, our faculty, our staff, the opportunity to welcome many of you to our school for the first time. Though some of you may have visited our campus at family football nights, or summer camps, or been a guest at a dance recital, a music concert, or a drama performance, today may be the first time you are officially here as a prospective student, and we're very glad that you came. I attended a Catholic high school in New Jersey, and I remember my open house. It was kind of like 5 years ago. But when I get further on, and what I'm about to say, you'll know it's older than that. Though I knew from the time I was young that I would attend St. John Vianney High School, I went to the open house because I had really never seen the inside of the school. I do remember walking around the classrooms, and one classroom in particular stands out, the typing room. Wait for it. They had word processors, not just IBM Selectrics. Remember those? I know it's okay to be nostalgic about the typing class from my school. Speaking of being nostalgic, I'd like to introduce our student speaker. I first met Marissa on her first day of high school 3 years ago, but it seems like yesterday. Marissa spoke to the freshman parents at Freshman Parent Welcome Night. And what you may not understand is that we've never considered having a freshman speak at this event. We always have student speakers, but not a freshman at Freshman Parent Welcome. We normally ask a junior or senior. And thinking back, I know that it must have been really exciting for her, but rather nerve-wracking to speak to the parents of her peers. But she had a fresh and honest perspective about about that first day of high school, that it was a huge success. And since then, we've always had a ninth grader speak. And she won't tell you this, but she's come every time since then to be helpful to the freshman student speaker and to just be supportive. And if you'll permit me, I want to share a few more things about Marissa. She's a current senior and the design editor for our school newspaper, The Crusader. She's a peer leader on student retreats. She's the liaison to the Board of Trustees. And she's applied to various colleges in the hopes of becoming a nurse. So please help me welcome Marissa Catherine.
Good afternoon. Like Ms. Barkin said, I'm Marissa and I'm a senior this year. When you start freshman year, everyone tells you how fast time flies. How if you blink once, it will all be over. I now understand what they mean. Like Ms. Barkin said, on my first day as a freshman, I was asked to speak that night at freshman parent night. I'd never spoken in front of a group before, and I'd never written a speech. While I waited in my seat for my name to be called, I felt as if I was waiting forever. After hearing my name, I stood up in front of a podium much like this one. My heart was in my stomach was in my throat. My legs were shaking a mile a minute. I told them about my day and how from those first 7 hours I knew I was going to have an amazing time here. I'm glad to say I was right. Well, I blinked, and here I stand again in front of a podium telling you about my Gibbons experience. From the first moment you walk into Gibbons, you're told about our mission statement. Mr. Curtis reminds us of it every time he talks, and it's hung up in every classroom. And although I should probably have the whole thing memorized, the part I do know is to form men and women of faith, service, and leadership in church and community. The first of these is faith. If you haven't heard yet, Gibbons has an amazing retreat program that helps you grow in your faith and helps you get to know yourself and your classmates better. Unfortunately, I never went on a retreat. Freshman year, I was too self-conscious to go. Sophomore year, I thought I was too cool. And junior year, I thought I was going to be judged. And senior year, I now realize how wrong I was. A few weeks ago, I was given the amazing opportunity to lead a sophomore retreat. Everything changed for me on that retreat. I realized what a mistake I had made in not giving them a chance and what an impact they can have. I got to know the underclassmen better, and I got to know myself better. And I'm happy to say that in January, I'll be going on my first Gibbons retreat as a participant, and I could not be more excited. Second part of the mission statement is service. At Gibbons, you learn how to serve your community and how to serve others. Service here is something everyone looks forward to. One day each year, you and your theology class go somewhere around Raleigh and volunteer. Freshman year, you go to an early childhood center, sophomore year to the soup kitchen, junior year to a nursing home, and senior year to Habitat for Humanity. I've learned how serving others is such a rewarding act, because there's nothing better than helping those in need. Last but not least is leadership. Gibbons gives you every opportunity to lead, from the opportunity to create any club you want, to leading retreats as peer leaders, to our 100% student-run breast cancer fashion show every year. From the time we're freshmen, we begin to understand what leadership is. each year we are given more opportunities, but senior year is when we become the true leaders of the school. This summer I was given the honor of being asked to go on a leadership retreat known as Principal's Leadership Conference, or PLC. PLC was something I'm sure to never forget, and on it we learned the true meaning of leadership. One of my favorite quotes from it was how being a leader is not surrounding yourself with people who are less than you and bossing them around, but surrounding yourself with people who are better than you and striving to be like them. And I feel like at Gibbons that's what we do. When I was a freshman, the seniors were my heroes. They were so excited about Gibbons and showed us how to treat one another. And now as a senior, I hope to be an example to all current and future students. Cardinal Gibbons is an extremely unique school, and I'm so thankful to have been able to be part of such a wonderful community and hope that everyone has an amazing experience that I definitely had. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jason Curtis, and I'm privileged to serve as the principal here at Cardinal Gibbons High School, which also puts me in the position of very often following our students who are all much smarter and more talented than I am. But I think it's really important that you not only get a chance to hear from our students, who I think most accurately convey the spirit of this school, but also, too, to understand that that's a really integral part of what we do here. Marissa talked about not only her experience, but how her experience is still evolving. Senior year, discovering a whole part of the school that she hadn't experienced before, and had the opportunity, even never having gone on a retreat, to serve as a retreat leader. They may sound a little bit strange to some of you, but at Gibbons it makes perfect sense. The other thing that we really like about our students getting to speak to you, and that I hope that you hear, is that our students do real leadership on campus. And what that means is that by speaking here today, she has the opportunity to set some direction for our school. What is important? What happens next? And so when you get a chance today to be with our students, when they're taking you on a tour or you're meeting them in the gymnasium, understand that that's a big part of what they're doing today, is they are setting up the next generation of Cardinal Gibbons students to be even more successful than they are, and that's an essential part of this school. And so I hope that you get the chance to be with our students today, not only for the 8th grade students who are visiting, but also for you as parents. I think that you'll find what my colleagues and I find every day. They are a remarkable group of young men and women. So enjoy your time with them today. But also part of open house means that you have to suffer through the principal speaking, and so that's my responsibility, is to give you a little bit of the structure of the school. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Cardinal Gibbons and give you some of the basic information about the school and what you're going to see today. I've been privileged to be at the school for 13 years. This is my 7th year as principal, my 16th in Catholic education. Not only did I grow up as a student in Catholic education, and the Sisters of Mercy would be laughing to see me up here working in Catholic education. I think they would tell me that now I'm going to get mine. But as a teacher, as a coach, as an assistant principal, and now as a principal, but probably the most important role that I've had, and in some ways every day, some of the most enjoyable, is now for the first time ever as a parent of a high school student in Catholic education. My son is a freshman here, and so my wife and I know very well what you parents are thinking about today, because she sat with her son in the same spot last year. And it is a really important community to my family, and it's a privilege today to share that school with you. I think I have the responsibility to give you some nuts and bolts about the school. We are over 100 years old, not in this building, and as you can tell, we're building. If you look out through those windows out there, getting a sneak peek of a huge building project, and you saw some of it out in front. What you're looking at through those windows back there is a brand new classroom wing. It's going to offer 11 new classrooms. We'll add 2 more science labs on top of those. It will include not only an enclosed area, an academic quad with an outdoor classroom and patio area, but also a digital media studio that will bring all of our media together, as well as broadcast capabilities for our video program as well. So we're excited, and that is coming online next August. So our incoming freshman class will have full use of that. The large building that you see out there in front is actually going to come online by the end of December. That's just in a month and a half. And I'll talk a little bit about what that building is, because we're very excited to get into that building. We're meeting in the library today. Normally we would meet in our theater. We've lost our theater for a couple of months, but we will open it up, and it will be one of 2 theaters on campus. And that's very unusual for a high school in America today, to be building a second theater, and it is going to be a state-of-the-art facility that will rival any professional theater in the United States today. We're very excited about that. So we'll talk a little bit about the school. One of the most important things that people ask about, of course, is our academic program, and many people have heard about our college prep academic program. It starts with our faculty and staff. I am incredibly proud of the men and women that I work with on a daily basis. They are a phenomenal group of educators. Vast majority have advanced degrees. They're all teaching in their subject areas, and so when you look at them on paper, and accreditation committees come in, they say, they've never seen a staff like this. But the real magic of what they do in education is the way that they care for our students, the way that they go out of their way to care for the students and to make sure that they are prepared. They give them a very, very challenging curriculum, but they want to make sure that they are comfortable and that they continue to improve as students. Last year, 83% of our seniors took at least one AP class. Now I promise you, when they came in as freshmen, 83% of them did not look like they were going to be ready for college class as seniors. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure about that, I promise you, a lot of those parents 4 years ago were not thinking that either. But isn't that the purpose of a college prep school? Is not just to take outstanding students, but to give the opportunity to students to continue to get better, to challenge themselves. But they not only take those courses, 80% of those students, because every single student who takes a course takes the exam, 80% of them scored a 3 or above on those tests, making them eligible for college credit. Not only are they just getting into those classes, they are doing well in those courses as well. A lot of high schools today will talk about matriculation into college, and that's how we know that you're a good school. I don't believe that. I think it's important to know that our students do get into good schools, and 100% of them get into at least one of their choice schools. But if you really pay attention to the educational literature out there, what we know is that 50% of all students who start at college this fall will not receive a degree within 6 years. That's a staggering statistic. College prep is not about getting into college, it's about being successful in college. And so when our alumni come back, and you can ask our graduates, we have several alumni who are here today in the cafeteria, they will always know that I will always ask how they're doing and did they feel like they were prepared. And what our students will say is they'll say that their first year of college was easier than their senior year here at Cardinal Gibbons. And as a parent, there's nothing I would rather hear. Because that opportunity to say, Mrs. Foucher's writing handbook and Sister Janet's chemistry notes, that's all I need in college. I am set. That gives you a huge sense of relief as a parent and as an educator. NC State provides the statistics. We have an outstanding college counseling program, 4 full-time counselors and an administrative assistant. They are great at their jobs, and they get this information from NC State, sends us comparable data on our freshmen compared to everybody else who entered North Carolina State University. The average GPA, last time we received that report, was a 2.9. Cardinal Gibbons, 3.04. That's a significant difference with all of our freshmen that are going to that university. So not only are they saying they're doing well, they're actually doing well, and they're doing better than all of their peers. And what's important for you to know is that your children participate in that college prep program. When they graduate from this school, they will be prepared to succeed at the best colleges and universities in the United States. But as you notice on campus, and if you speak to other parents, we're not just about 8 class periods during the day. There's a lot that goes on, and many of you, and I know that there's some experienced, that's our code word for people who've had kids here before, experienced, not older parents, experienced parents know that your children never go home. That's what people talk about with Cardinal Gibbons, and students are here after school and on weekends and at night every single day of the year. So what are they doing? One of the huge things here is the arts. In that new wing that you're going to see out there will be a second dance studio. There will be 2 new music rooms that are specifically engineered acoustically for our music programs. Those programs include everything from jazz ensemble, wind ensemble, string ensemble, percussion, guitar, chorus, along with practice rooms and storage rooms. We will have 2 new visual arts rooms, which are state-of-the-art. So 2D art, 3D art, AP art, all of the visual arts as well. You have this opportunity here as a student to participate in an arts program. In fact, over 900 of our students participate in the arts in some way, shape, or form. And I mentioned our brand new studio theater. All of this is in an effort when everything that you read about education is, hey, we're stepping back from the arts. We can't support it anymore. I'm here today to tell you that Cardinal Gibbons is doing exactly the opposite. We are committed to the arts. We think that it is important to our school community, and we're making a very physical, tangible commitment to the arts for our students. We also, if you read the paper, justifiably proud of our athletics program. Yesterday we won 3 state championships. We're very proud of those student athletes, and we get quite a bit of press for that. I do wish the NNL would cover the arts and our spiritual life program a little bit more, but we'll keep sending them stories, and hopefully they'll print them someday. But we do get a lot of coverage for our athletics, and we are proud of the fact that we've been recognized 11 out of the last 12 years as the top athletic program in the state of North Carolina. We're very proud of that. Last year was a historic year. Nobody in the state had ever done what our student athletes and our coaches did with state championships in the Wells Fargo Cup. But when you're on campus, you're not going to get that feel. There's 2 things that you're going to know about our athletic program when you're on campus. The first is over 800 out of our 1,200 students are student athletes, and that the participation rate is growing faster than our enrollment. And we've added a freshman football team, and a freshman basketball team, and a freshman volleyball team, and there are more freshman teams to follow. That when we are adding in this new wing a second gymnasium, and a larger weight room, and a wrestling and cheerleading and health and PE room, It's because we have more and more students who want to participate in this program, and that every single season here at Cardinal Gibbons, there's at least one no-cut sport that your student can participate in, even if they've never participated in athletics before. And that opportunity to coach, to be a part of a team, we think is really important. So while the newspaper can write about our achievements, what we're going to talk about is the fact that not only all the student athletes get to participate, but every one of our teams is doing a service project. We're more excited about that, to be perfectly honest with you. And that your students have a chance to participate in that. Marissa talked about our spiritual life program, which we are very, very proud of, and it's central to everything that we do. And so I'm not going to go over what she talked about. She did mention our service program. It's integrated into what we do. As students, you don't go out on your own. You go with the school. We have a full-time director of outreach who takes you with your classmates to do service, and then we come back to our classes and talk about it. And we are a large volunteer group. We're Habitat for Humanity's largest volunteer group in all of Wake County. Shepherd's Table Soup Kitchen does not operate without our students every Monday of the year, including all summer and all breaks. So we're part of our outreach. She talked about our retreat program, which many of our seniors will say is the most important part of their experience. And then it goes down to the daily experience of Christ here on campus. Father Roman celebrates Mass every single morning. And so as individuals, as parents, as clubs, and as teams, we get the opportunity to celebrate Mass together as a community, as well as all school Masses during the school year. So our faith program is very, very important. Our spiritual life program is very important to what we do here as a school. One of the other things is that we've got a lot going on with extracurriculars, and if you walk into the gym, you're going to see a little bit of life of the school. The moderator of the surf club is not there because I'm the moderator of the surf club, and I'm in here today. I was joking when I walked in with a surfboard under my arm today. I might be the only principal in America that comes to open house with a surfboard. And it makes sense when you're here on campus. Because the purpose of those extracurriculars is not just all of the awards and achievements. And our robotics club has gone to an international competition, and they have 2 patents that are filed, and a corporation that's contacting them about purchasing that, the rights to that, and all the different things that you see. It's about being present. And for me, when we leave to go on a surf trip, we start out there 6:30 in the morning, we start off with prayer. When it's dark outside, we're getting ready to go surf, and then I get to spend a day with these students where we get that chance to participate in real education. That, to me, is what is really central about this school. And so all of those opportunities, over 50 different clubs, are all opportunities for us to be together and to do the things that we love doing, and then to learn about things that you don't know yet that you're going to be passionate about. One of the really important things that I think that we need to talk about as parents is the commitment that we make to Catholic education. High school is important. Research tells us that these next 4 years for your sons and daughters are going to be some of the most important in their development. Not just in their social maturity, how they relate to others, not just in their spiritual formation, how they relate to God, not just in their personal formation of learning to speak with their own voice, but in fact just in their brains. Their brains are changing so much during this time, in fact maybe more so than any other time than at the beginning of their life. And when you look at your sons and daughters today and then look at our seniors, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of change is going to happen in the next 4 years. So it's a real commitment and an important time in their lives, but it's a very real commitment for our families. So I stand here today to tell you that our Board of Trustees is absolutely committed to making sure that Catholic education remains accessible and affordable for all families. This year we will give out close to $1 million in need-based financial aid for our families. And over the past 6 years, our financial aid has increased at a rate double that than our tuition, because our board and our administration is committed to making sure that families who wish Catholic education for their sons and daughters will have it. And I stand in front of you today to assure you that that will continue to be the case for you and for your families. So that's the principal speech I think that they give all of us when they send us to principal school. Okay, here's what you got to talk about. So now I'm going to go off script. So off script is really what you need to know about this school, because all that stuff is website information, right? You could have figured all of that out by going on the internet. So what do you really need to know about this school? This is what I want to leave you with today. Marissa stole my missions, but I'm going to put it in there. Anyway, because I can't speak without talking about the mission statement. So here it is. Cardinal Gibbons High School is a college preparatory school of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Raleigh. We embrace the mission of Jesus Christ to form men and women of faith, service, and leadership in church and community. And so she talked about some specific examples of how she feels that happens. But the real key word in there is to form. This idea of formation. Let me borrow from St. Bonaventure, because he was pretty smart. He said that the soul is a mirror that transforms itself into whatever it casts its gaze upon. What that means is that over the next 4 years in high school, our student souls become what they see. So a week ago Friday, I was standing out in the center of that hallway, and I want you to kind of picture this, kind of out near where the cafeteria is, and here's what I saw. Our football team was coming out of Mass before their games. They're coming down from the chapel. In Plan-Ups, a group of our students had gotten together to put on a Halloween party for the children of faculty and staff. They thought that would be kind of a cool idea. In the Crusader room next to the gym, we were having a coffee house. That's where students get together and they're playing original music, they're reading original poetry. Then we have other teams practicing. We have students hanging out, and a bunch of students around the piano in the main lobby. In case you wondered, do they play that? Yeah, they play that every single day. And you think, where else would I want my son or my daughter to be? What else would I want their soul to cast their gaze upon? This school is about being willing to be formed, because the secret is it's not just for the students, it's for all of us too. That I am different as a result of being here on a daily basis. So if you want to know what really this school is about, it is about the opportunity every single day, every single night, all weekend long, for us to love each other. So when I say that that piano gets played, it's not just for people who play the piano. It's for everybody who walks by. And the opportunity to inspire others and to be inspired, to realize that we are given gifts by God, and that in high school is the time when we learn that we have the opportunity to share it with others because we love them. That's what this school is really about. So when you have this energy that you feel on campus, and you have this energy that you feel from our students, that's what you are feeling. None of it's the awards, none of it's the accomplishments, none of it's the curriculum. It is a deep sense of caring for each other. And so today, I hope that's what you remember when you leave this campus community. Because this is our home, and we hope that it will become your home as well. And on behalf of our family, our community here, it's my privilege to welcome you to Cardinal Gibbons High School. I hope you have a great day.
So let me share a couple of things to help you navigate open house.